it's Jasmine, and today we're making strawberry and blueberry tangyuan with chocolate filling. Tangyuan is a traditional Chinese food that is usually eaten during the Chinese New Year, the Lantern Festival, or the Winter Solstice Festival. It could be unfilled or filled. Some of the traditional fillings are black sesame seed filling, peanut filling, and it could also be meat filling. It could be different sizes, sweet or salty. Today we're making something a little bit different. Since I like to eat desserts, today we're going to make a chocolate tangyuan, and we're going to color it with strawberry and blueberry puree. This is going to be a sweet dessert. It has very few ingredients, so let's get started. For the ingredients, you will need 200 grams of glutinous rice flour, 150 grams of frozen strawberries, 100 grams of frozen blueberries, half a cup of white chocolate, and half a cup of dark chocolate. First, we're going to prepare the dough. Since usually tangyuan is white, today I'm going to add some color to it using some strawberries and blueberries. I'm using frozen strawberries and blueberries today, but you can use fresh if you want to. I'm going to puree using a blender. You could also use a food processor, and we're going to add the puree to the dough to add some color to it. You want to make sure that you blend the strawberry and the blueberry really smooth because we're using the puree to bring the glutinous rice flour together, and you don't want to see specks of the flesh inside of the dough. The dough of the tangyuan is made of glutinous rice flour with a small amount of liquid to bring it together, which would be the strawberry and the blueberry puree that we just blended up. I have 200 grams of glutinous rice flour here, and I'm going to divide it in half to make 2 colors of tangyuan. It is best to use warm liquid to bring it together. This way later on when we're filling it with the chocolate, it wouldn't crack. Now we're going to microwave the strawberry and the blueberry puree for around 40 seconds. Usually the ratio of a tangyuan dough is 100 grams of glutinous rice flour to 70 grams to 80 grams of water. But since we're using puree today, we're going to use 100 grams of glutinous rice flour to 100 grams of the fruit puree. But you could adjust the amount because the consistency of your puree may vary. So don't add in all of the liquid at first. You could adjust it as you go on. If it is too sticky, you can add a little bit more glutinous rice flour to make it less sticky. And if you find it being too dry, then you can add a little more puree. And the temperature of the liquid will affect the stickiness of the dough. You want to add enough liquid until it is a consistency like this. You can see it's really nice and soft. It's a dough and it's no longer sticking to your hands. You want to make sure you cover the dough with some plastic wrap to make sure it does not dry out. The strawberry and blueberry dough should now weigh 190 grams each. We're going to divide it into 12 equal pieces, each piece weighing about 15 grams. Roll each piece into a round ball, and you can weigh it to see if it is 15 grams if you want to. And try to make each piece about the same size. This will make it more even later on when we're adding the filling. Place the dough onto a plate that has been lined with plastic wrap so it does not stick, and cover it with plastic wrap so it doesn't dry out. Today, as a filling, I prepared some white and dark chocolate, and I found these half circles at Bulk Barn, and these are really nice because I could take another half, squeeze it together to form a ball. And this will make it a lot easier to fill the tangyuan, and it also maximizes the amount of air that goes into it so it does not break while it's boiling. This is 5 grams together, so the filling is 5 grams and the dough is 15 grams. And you could change the ratio however you like. You could change the sizes as well. You also want to prepare a plate that has been lined with plastic wrap, so later on we could place the finished tangyuan on it and without it sticking. Now we can start to fill it. Take out a piece of the dough and cover the rest of it with the plastic wrap so it does not dry out. I like to roll it between my hands a little bit. And now to fill it, create a small well with your thumb in the dough. Not too big because you do not want too much air in there. We're going to take a chocolate ball, place it in that well. Use your thumb to push the chocolate down and use your index finger and your other thumb to push the dough upwards. This way it covers up the chocolate, and make sure that there's not much air inside of here because it will break later on when you're boiling it. Prepare a pot of boiling water. Make sure there's enough water in there because the tangyuan will puff up while boiling and you don't want it to stick to each other. Add the tangyuan in one by one slowly so it does not splash on you. And use the back of a strainer to push the tangyuan around a little bit so it does not stick to the sides of the pot. Put on the lid and wait for it to boil. Make sure to keep a very close eye on it because it will start to boil very quickly and overflow. Add in half a cup of cold water and wait for the water to boil one more time. Turn the heat down to medium and wait for the tangyuan to float to the top. That means it is cooked. Take out immediately because you don't want to overcook it or else it will start to break. Use the water that you used to boil the tangyuan as a soup. And I like to garnish with a couple slices of fresh strawberries, but this is optional. The tangyuan is usually served with a sweet soup, but today since the chocolate filling is already very sweet, I'm not going to be adding any sugar to the soup itself, but you could if you want to. If you don't finish cooking it all at once, you could place it into the freezer and store it in there up to a month. Just make sure you cover it with plastic wrap. You can serve it with some fresh fruit like strawberries and blueberries. It makes it a lot prettier to look at and a lot healthier to eat. I really hope you could try this out. It could be perfect as a dessert or really just eaten any time of the day. Thanks for watching and see you guys next time. Bye!